This podcast is activated by water.
This podcast is brought to you by water and Nate Snacks for Life.
We do it every single week because we keep drinking the water.
Use the discount code DinosaurP to get 33% off your water and free worldwide shipping.
Hey everybody, this is TMG Podcast. This is episode 54. This is a podcast of everything video games, and we're in the middle of October now.
Hooray! Middle of October.
Yeah. This is Carlos, and with me as well.
Hello, what's up everyone?
And Miggy, are you there now?
I hail from the lag world.
There. He's there, but he's back from the lag world. But yeah,
lag realm.
This is episode 54. This is Horror Month, part 3, and we're gonna continue our whole. What?
Nobody needs to know that.
Why? No, not part 3 of us fucking up. I'm talking about part 3 of the Horror Month. Now they know.
They don't need to know that.
I wasn't talking about that.
And that's slow, guys.
FYI, if you just joined us, this is our third attempt at starting.
Taking over.
It's our third attempt of starting this episode. It's also the third part of our Horror Month, because this is the third episode of October. Am I right? Yes, it is.
Yeah.
It's not what I'm talking about, our attempts and all that. Yes, you're good. Yeah, but we're going to be continuing our whole Horror Month thing. We're going to be sharing a little bit of scary stories, just to celebrate October. We love, them scary stuff. And of course, horror, survival horror, because, survival horror needs a little bit more love nowadays. But yeah, later in the episode we'll be sharing some urban legends. We've been doing it for a couple of episodes now. It's a lot of fun, a little bit spooky there and all that. But in terms of impressions, I'll be talking about in a bit a little bit of Aliens Isolation and a lot of The Evil Within. And what about you guys? What are your impressions for this week?
Me, honestly, I haven't been playing anything new. I can talk a little bit more about Guild Wars if you want. But I did pick up just today Borderlands, the pre-sequel. So I will want to be trying to play that. I'll probably be the Claptrap character and see how that goes.
Oh yeah, you got the pre-sequel, the Borderlands 2.5.
Yep. And the one where you get to play, if you played Borderlands 2, you get to play as it's the origin story of the main villain from Borderlands 2. So
you get to play Claptrap.
One of the playable characters is a Claptrap, so that seems to be the most interesting character.
Seems that way, yeah.
Is it true that it's an Australian Claptrap?
I have no idea.
Is it a Claptrap or is it the Claptrap?
It's a Claptrap. I don't know if it's
a
Claptrap. Yeah. But yeah, knowing Gearbox, they're going to release a shit ton of DLC as well for this. So, who knows if there will be more character classes after that? But I'll start with the Claptrap and see how that goes.
Cool. Well, yeah, I picked up The Evil Within. I'll mention that in a bit. I actually just went all straight up, just like in the spirit of like it being October. Like I just went straight up Alien Isolation for the PC, straight up Evil Within for the PS4.
Have you finished Aliens already? Like,
I'm halfway done,
okay.
But I'm 10 hours in. I mean, like it's crazy. It's actually a long game, but it's not that it's a really like a draggy game. It's just like I'm actually surprised that after the 10th hour already, I'm actually not that bored yet, to be honest.
It still
It's actually
it still gives you scares. Like
it still gets me scared. And as much as it's just pretty much a cat and mouse kind of gameplay, it's still frightening once you like. Because every time the alien catches me, like it kills me. It catches me off guard because like I'm like under a table, like he didn't see me, and all of a sudden, bam, he gets me and then just pulls me out.
He on the table. He did see me.
He did see me, or like did he hear me drop that barrel? Like, oh yeah, he did. There's a little spine in my back already. Like, oh shit, yeah, it kills me and all that. So there are still some jump scares there. And I thought that it'd be very repetitive, like it's the same thing over and over. Like I can just keep doing the same thing to prevent the aliens from getting me. No, every stage that I've been experiencing so far is like it's always something different. And as I go farther into the game or into the story, I get more options. So technically everything becomes new for me. Like for example, I think past the 5-hour mark, you will see stages where it'll be a mixture of the alien roaming around and some bandits roaming around the place where you have to traverse and like go through. And with the new equipment that I have, I can actually have the option not to either like use the bandits as bait to steer, like bring the alien at one corner while I can like sneak past the hole, like going to the right side. Because apparently I think for 5 hours straight, I was trying to figure out what the hell the flares are for that game.
Right.
Because it was completely useless. But apparently that's the thing to lure the human enemies in the game. Like if you want to attract them or like distract them like with an item, just throw a flare and they'll go, huh? I see a flare. That wasn't there before. And then they start going there, and everybody's like because they're in groups. There's always like 3 or 4 of them. And for some reason, when I throw a flare, all of them diverge to that spot. So I've come to a point where I throw a flare, and if I want them to fight each other, the alien and the bandits, I throw a flare, and I throw a thing called a noisemaker, and I throw it where the flare is. So the noisemaker calls the alien, and the flare calls the humans, and it just becomes it becomes chaos on my corner. And I just go on the right side and go on my way. It's fine, it's cool. So it's cool playing puppeteer like with those kind of equipment towards the later part of the game. And the alien is actually like I'm not sure if I mentioned this last episode, but he's definitely not predictable. It's actually very unpredictable. Every time, because based on what I know, like if I hear the alien going up the vents, that means I'm kind of safe because he's above the vents and all that. He's not roaming around the corridors. For some reason, he's up the vents, and then after a few seconds, he's behind me. When I check out the monitor, he's behind me all of a sudden. And then when I look there, he's like roaming the corridors, and like, wait, I didn't hear him go down. So like I'm not too sure it's because I'm in the second half of the second part of the game already, or I just never noticed it. Because I've always based everything on the sound. Like if I can hear him go down or go up or do whatever. Now it looks like he's teleporting around me, which is making it harder for me to actually predict where he's going. Which is making me much more freaked out half the time. And then my flashlight, I'm having a hard time with my flashlight now because I'm running out of batteries more often than now. And I kind of need those batteries. So it's actually the tension's still there. But I like the fact that as I go on, I'm given with different problems. Like now, my flashlight's more of a problem now. Materials are more of are scarce at this time, at this point of the game. Like it's kind of like a double-edged thing where I kind of want to visit that room to look for items to make it easier for me for the next room. But I kind of don't want to, because if I stay there longer to look for more items, it means I have to face the alien more. You'll be roaming around more often. So I'm always left with a dilemma, like, should I just run to the objective or just explore?
Right.
It's just very freaky. The alien's still pretty freaky. The story it's not developing still. It's just more like I have to get the fuck out of here. Just like any other horror film, where like there are a couple of people that show up. This is not like it's just you and the alien. There's a lot of people. There's a lot of people you meet in this game. There's not much deaths from the characters and whatnot, so you get to at least talk to them, and then get to know them a little bit more and see what's going on in Sevastopol, the supply station. And I like that. I like the fact that they actually did that. It's not more like a lone thing, like it's just completely deserted, like Bioshock deserted, like there's nothing there. There's you can see like a bunch of people trying to survive, and they actually have like those bandits. If you actually crawl side by side, like if you try to sneak past them, they actually have their own stories. Like I don't know if it's a good touch though. Like I've encountered a couple of bandits where like one bandit was trying to find a hack tool to get to the space part, but they can't find it, so they're like freaking out. The other one just apparently are just flat out bandits. They're trying to just kill anybody with any useful items.
So there's like stuff you can overhear from
the
bandits.
overhearing. Yeah, it's not repetitive or anything in terms of the audio, like when you're hearing it when they're making small little banters. If you don't bother them, so it's a good touch in that sense. So, what else can I mention about Alien Isolation? There's a good for all you Alien fans though. There's actually a good what was it? Prometheus. That's the prequel before the movie
film,
before Alien 1. Yeah. There's a little bit cool snippet about it. I'm not gonna spoil it, but it pretty much this story pretty much connects, adds in Prometheus, the whole what we get out of Prometheus, like the origin of Alien.
That's cool.
So you when you get to that point, you'll actually appreciate that they actually this game actually connected everything together.
That's pretty cool because most of the older Alien games were like all side stories for the most part with no real connection whatsoever to the main line, and most of them really were inspired only by like the second film, which I love that film because it's just action all the way, but it certainly was a really big departure from the first Alien film, which was really a horror film, and then it sort of became an action horror genre. So I'm really liking that they're bringing this back to horror now, and well, I've heard mixed reviews, but are you able to see some of the reasons why it's been getting mixed reviews so far, or do you still feel like they're all wrong? Or
I think story I cannot base the story because people are some of the critics that were talking about Alien Isolation and saying it's kind of in a negative side was from the story. I can't say anything about the story yet. It's still the traditional, like, I have to survive. There's this band of people. We have to, survive and whatnot. So nothing there in that department. But in terms of the gameplay, though, for what what I told you guys, it's not repetitive. It's not, it's the same thing. The alien's there again. No, the alien's constantly a threat throughout. He never becomes a dull thing. And I think the only dull thing here in terms of gameplay is the fucking androids. The androids are useless. There's supposed to be another enemy type, but you can actually just they're gonna say, "Oh, you're not supposed to be around here." You hear me?
Yeah, you're back.
Oh, okay. Well, the android's like, "Hello, you're not supposed to be. You're not in this restricted area." And they start choking you, and then you just tap E to get out of it, and then you can just simply run around the room, and they'll never catch you because they never run. And they just become a nuisance.
And they take a few shots too. Like they have ridiculous life.
They have ridiculous life. It's no point. I don't see any point of like taking one down. I've taken one down, but I used I think 3 or 4 items to take him down, and a couple of bullets for my revolver. It's completely useless. It's just it's a pain in the ass to actually go against an android. So, but in terms of the alien itself, and I remember the reviewer saying that it's the same old cat and mouse doing the same thing over and over. That's not I really don't think that's the case. I like the fact that once the alien is, as I progress through the game, I find some blueprints because you get blueprints to get more crafting. Like if you get a blueprint, you can craft now a flashbang. If you get the blueprint for a smoke bomb, you got a smoke bomb. The game invites you to be creative with those items. Like, I made I remember that I had one room where I kind of put a smoke bomb on, I think, on a vent on a corner, and once I hear the explosion, I know where the alien is ready because I noticed that there's only one vent when we can show up. So when I did that, I put a smoke bomb and it blew up. And I knew it already. But for some reason, he knew what room I was. But thankfully, I was already in the locker room. But those kinds of scenarios, like I can set up those scenarios for myself. like, oh, I can put a smoke bomb as more of an alarm thing, because I think the smoke bomb was the first item that I found out that I can actually just place on the ground as more of a mine or more of a trigger. So that's actually a cool thing. So I really don't think I don't feel repetitive at this point, and I'm already 10 hours in. I just got the flamethrower, and I'm almost positive that's gonna fend off the alien. So I want to see if it's gonna be an easier experience with the flamethrower. Because the last thing I did in Alien Isolation is pick up the flamethrower, and goddamn, I haven't even pressed the trigger on that flamethrower yet. But so far it's okay. So far, if anybody wants a perfect a horror game for October, Alien Isolation is definitely worth, I think, every penny at this point. It's already 10 hours, and I think it's 16 hours the minimum. So I'm definitely way past the second. I'm way past the halfway mark already, and well worth the money already at this point.
Well, that's not the only game you've been playing. How about the other horror game for this month?
Oh, okay. Yeah, because October, I literally set aside like Shadow of the Mordor, even Civ Beyond Earth, like the one that's coming out in a couple of weeks. Like I just wanna, you know what? If I'm gonna buy games in October, it's gonna be all the horror games. So I bought Alien Isolation, and I also bought The Evil Within, and I bought that for my PS4. The Evil Within is actually the new game from the Resident Evil creator, Shinji Mikami.
Yes.
And it's essentially him teaming up with Bethesda, and it's pretty much his whole ultimate goal with this whole Evil Within is pretty much reviving or bringing back the old school survival horror, like similar to, of course, like the original Resident Evil. Even Resident Evil 4 for someone who hasn't played the original game, Silent Hill, even Dino Crisis. That's one game I actually want them to remake, though. Dino Crisis.
Dino Crisis was underappreciated for sure.
Raptors, yo. But anyway, The Evil Within, Alien Isolation is actually a very scary experience, while Evil Within is a very gross experience. That's the best way I can describe it. If you want something that's
I see.
Yeah, it's not scary. It's just flat out disgusting. It's. I don't understand I don't know how Shinji Mikami actually thought about this, but everything from the main menu all the way down to how you die, how you kill people, what rooms you enter, they're all just gross. They're just all disgusting, and it's not more scary. It's more just a lot of gore. It's just that's gore times 5 already at this point.
So
and
it's more the slasher film.
Yeah,
to the...
like Texas Chainsaw minus the jump scares.
Oh, there's no jump scares? That's kind of...
No, there is, but not as strong as Alien Isolation. I wasn't that scared when I was playing Evil Within, and I'm so far I think on my 5th hour already, because I just played it one night, like straight, 5 hours in. I'm not that scared. I'm actually scared once they actually get, I get scared every now and then, but there's no actual, like, fear, like, what I got from Alien Isolation, like, oh my god, where's the alien and whatnot, like, my mind wandering on what's going on.
Yeah.
I don't get that. I get those little scares, like, oh shit, I have no more ammo and I'm running away. Stuff like that. It's, The Evil Within is, in a nutshell, Resident Evil,
4.5.
for next gen. For next gen. And technically that's not a bad thing, because I think Resident Evil 4 is one of the greatest survival horror games.
Right.
So far. Like, together with maybe I think Silent Hill and actually the original Resident Evil. But yeah, The Evil Within, I don't know how to explain the story. The story is just completely madness. It's essentially this detective that enters, checks out this mass murder. Receives a call of a mass murder in a mental hospital, and when he goes inside, everything just completely goes to hell. Like, he just sees all these supernatural things going on. People are just like dying and dismembering, and there's blood everywhere. And then he gets knocked out, and all of a sudden he wakes up with what looks like to be like a butcher place, but all the meat are people, stuff like that. and then from there on till from where I am, it's just completely. I've never seen so many blood or red in my life over and over. But essentially, I was actually right when it comes to Evil Within. It's if you want the scares and the jump scares, you go to Alien Isolation. If you want the gore and the semi-combat-ish, like I guess somewhat similar to Resident Evil 5 and 4. I guess that's the best way I can describe it. Then go for the Evil Within, because it's like those kinds of survival horror where you actually have to fight against the controls of the game. Because it really feels like they actually intentionally, because the camera angle is horrible. The camera that follows the character behind it, like in third person, similar to Resident Evil 4. It's really wonky and horrible that sometimes it limits my view on where my enemies are. So it's those kinds of games where you have to the controls are actually you have to go against the controls.
You're fighting against the controls in a way.
Yeah, in a way.
That's old school, but not in a good way.
It's old school in not a good way, and the shooting, it doesn't feel like I'm an actual cop. It's all like it's all swaying, and it's really hard to shoot. But
do you ever feel like you're losing because of the controls, or just because you're messing up by yourself?
It's at this point it's a mix of both. Sometimes.
All right.
It's a mix of both. It takes a while to get used to, especially that I haven't felt this kind of controls in a while, especially that weird camera. Because sometimes there are certain places or certain points in the game where the camera is just super close in the damn guy's head. Like it seems like it zooms in. I really feel limited with how they position the thing. I'm not too sure if it's an actual design choice to make the game more difficult, or it's just them literally trying to stay true to the whole survival horror, because that's in the old school survival horror. They're always like that, where it's like very limited controls. Like Resident Evil 4, you can't move and stuff like that. Like there's some limitations that make the game hard. So I'm not too sure if that's their decision. And this game is like they have very little ammo for you, even in normal difficulty. This is not an easy game. This is not an easy game at all. I've died so many times just because of trial and error, just because I didn't know that could happen, and then the one like, oh okay, that happened, and I have to do it again. You know, so the game doesn't really tell you that much of what you need to know. And it's survival horror in the sense that whenever you kind of miss like a shot of your revolver, you kind of feel it, and it kind of towards the end of the match, you kind of always have that sensation like I kind of want to restart that fight. Because I'm always struggling with ammo. Always. I've never felt like I'm fully stocked up with all these items to take on whatever Evil Within will throw at me, any whatever creature. No. Not as ever from the start all the way to where I'm at the Evil Within. I'm always constantly like, up, my shotgun's gone, up, my sniper rifle has no more ammo, up, stuff like that. There's no more stuff around. But it's the Evil Within feels like a game where it's separate, it's divided in chapters. And it just feels like you're going in each chapter, it feels like you're going from one nightmare after the other. Because I don't know what's going on, but something to do with your mind. Like, you're going through a series of different nightmares.
You're going crazy.
It's going crazy, but it feels like the story seems like all these people are in one mind, and they're experiencing the same thing. Because one time, at one point, I'm in the mansion, I'm killing some person, I'm going through a corridor, all of a sudden it just snaps. I'm in the sewers. And I'm surrounded with blood, and I have to go in, and apparently that's the next stage. Like it just keeps on snapping and changing into different areas. I think the last one was where I'm in a cave. I'm going like in a very narrow cave, and all of a sudden the anti-protagonist shows up, and then touches me, and all of a sudden I'm in the mental institution again. Like it just, I don't know where I am. I'm always like confused in what's going on.
It's one of those games.
Yeah, and it's. I think there was a flashing of watch out for flashing lights, or was that because this is a trigger? This might trigger epilepsy or seizures. There's a lot of bright lights and weird resolutions that happen. It makes you feel like it kind of made me want to lower down the brightness of it a bit. It's a weird game. I wasn't expecting this kind of game. It's not a straightforward like there's a big like entity that I have to kill. Like up to this point, it just feels like a complete like a a series of nightmares that are just connected to each other. And the story is not going anywhere at this point yet. It's not. I don't know what's going on. What else What else can I say about Evil Within? It's the first game also that I've seen some FPS drops for my PS4.
Yeah.
It is not. It's a Bethesda game. It's literally a Bethesda game. It's not polished properly because there are some open scenes in the game where you can see like the ocean and the horizon and whatnot. Those things chug. The game is only capped at 30 FPS in all platforms, and that goes down 30 FPS maybe 30% of the time. And that's a shocker because in my PS4 I felt all the games to be smooth, like Destiny, The Last of Us, all those games, and it's the first time that I feel like some FPS drops happening in this PS4 system of mine.
No, I wasn't expecting the FPS drops to be on the next gen consoles.
Yeah, if ever you guys want to get the Evil Within, I think the best option would be PC for this one, simply because people are having an idea how to unlock the game's 60 FPS option. You just have to do a little bit of digging. But I think you'll better appreciate the game if you actually do it on the PC to really tinker around with the settings. Because the PS4, I don't know, with my copy, it just chugs every now and then. And it chugs and sometimes in the cinematics too, it really turns me off sometimes. So, but that's the Evil Within. It's a cool game. It's not that scary that I thought as I was expecting, but it's definitely, I guess, it's definitely true to the old school survival horror. Now, is this game going to be greatly translated to like modern times? I'm not too sure because the clunky controls, the weird story. I don't know if people actually would appreciate going through that, like similar to Resident Evil or Resident Evil 4. So, but it's getting good reviews though. I mean, overall.
Yeah, it's been getting some excellent reviews.
Yeah, but I'm having a good time with it so far. It's just I don't know where to start. Again, I just don't know where to start. I don't know if it's a nightmare or it's in my head or if it's someone's head or if it's the city's head. I don't get it. Besides, all I know is it's something. It's all happening in one mind. I just don't know where. I don't know whose mind. And it's weird. It's very weird. But yeah, that's it. That's Evil Within for now. I'll maybe talk about it more. I most probably will finish it by next week, most probably. Especially Alien Isolation, since I'm doing a let's play of that, and I already have the first episode up on YouTube and all that. What about you, Mix?
I've been playing something.
How was your week?
Not in the normal range of things we play. I've been playing another mobile game.
Which is
Candy Crush?
No. Nothing stupid like that.
Oh, that's not...
Oh, you heard that there's going to be a Street Fighter version of that soon.
of Candy Crush?
Of Bejeweled.
Really?
I thought they always had that.
Oh gosh.
But anyway, I've been playing Spider-Man Unlimited for my iPad and also on Android.
You've been posting. Oh, that's the game you've been posting.
I was about to say that. That's what you were posting on Facebook. I was wondering, what were you doing? I thought it was like a Facebook game.
Yeah, I've had multiple people ask me, well, like, what game's that? What game's that? Yeah, it's basically Temple Run, but Spider-Man. So automatically, it's better.
It's Temple Run with Spider-Man. All right.
Yeah, it's a 3-lane infinite runner.
That just sort of puts me off.
Wait, if you fuck up, what, he gets hit hits himself in
it's actually it's a really cute game. Like the premise is the villains, the Sinister Six, have gathered up and can open portals to other dimensions and are recruiting like the other portal versions of themselves.
Like the alternate dimensions of.
Yeah, so like all the Green Goblins are banding together, all the Vultures are together, etc., and you have to beat each and every one of them on the way.
Mm-hmm.
And so the city's in chaos, and they have the giant battleship, and they're like dropping missiles on the city. They have goons everywhere, and they're working with Oscorp for some reason because of Goblin. And so Infinite Runner 3-lane, you jump, you can You swipe around to switch lanes, you swipe up to jump, and you swipe down to slide, like in Pepsi Man. And you can slide to kick enemies, and when you're close enough, you can swipe up, and he'll web zip to them and punch them.
Mm.
And that guy, the wall, he does a cartoon splat on the wall, and then a missile lands beside him and blows up. So that's how they sort of explain how your progress gets stopped.
So is
Okay.
this what is my like compared to the real Temple Run? Apart from the aesthetic differences, it's really the same game. Is it just the same game?
I played Temple Run 1 and 2. I didn't like 2. 1 was okay, but I didn't get into it. I like this one because it changes up the style of the run.
Right.
Because in Temple Run, you were being chased by something as you're avoiding stuff, right? Or was that only in 2?
Yeah.
And the scenery in Temple Run doesn't really change because it's just a simple little game. This one, it changes the scenery and the traps in the area. Like after you complete a stretch, it'll switch up. Like you're on the city rooftops, missiles are falling down, there are guys around with jetpacks and all that. Then you sometimes go into Oscorp, and there's like moving block platforms and laser walls, and acid pits, and a giant Dr. Octopus robot. Then you have to destroy the tentacles. It's pretty crazy. And there are also of course it's Spider-Man. Like, so why wouldn't Spider-Man just swing? There are actually swinging segments where you hold on the screen to swing, and it's sort of like a physics based because depending on where the timing of your release depends on will changes like angle and trajectory and timing and all that.
Uh-huh.
And there are other traps even in the swing segments, like you have to swing under or through a bridge, and there are floating goblin bombs, or just a broken bus on the street if you don't jump it in time.
Yeah.
It's pretty neat. So, it's.
I never liked the whole infinite run.
Yeah. The only other Infinite Runner game I played was Sonic. I forgot what it's called. Sonic Dash, I think, and that was fun. But after a while, the wall before you have to pay to win hits you really early in Sonic. This one you can sort of grind it out because the way it happens is there's an infinite run mode where you just go as long as you can, get the highest amount of points. And there's also like a story mode. And the story mode requires your characters to be a certain level to play the next story mission. And the way that works is there are different ranked Spider-Man in there are rare versions which have a higher max level, and the lower ranks are easier to get. And to rank them up, because they stop per 10 levels, and to upgrade to the next star, you need a duplicate version of that Spider-Man and 2 more to sacrifice in order to level up. So you do have to grind just to reach a level. And of course it's luck based when you try to unlock a new Spider-Man.
I'm sure, yeah.
And the way they explain the Spider-Man is S.H.I.E.L.D. has developed a mini portal gun, and all it can do is bring other Spider-Man to you. And there's sort of dialogue.
Of course.
Yeah.
Why not?
And there's dialogue between the Spider-Man and I was just swinging, and what the hell, I'm here all of a sudden. Shut up, you gotta save the city. Okay. Yeah, it's cute.
I'll do it.
And they got a lot of Spider-Man costumes, and that's why I've been posting them on Facebook. It's hey, that's a costume I like.
Is it actual costumes from the comic, or is it just random
it's
design?
different costumes from the different iterations of Spider-Man in the comic.
Okay, that's pretty cool. Okay. Good. I'm happy about that.
And I initially thought it would be hard to get the higher level Spider-Man, but there are timed events going about now, which I think are a week long. And when you beat the primary goal, it gives you enough of the currency that you can buy. I think they're like purple crystals. It gives you enough of those to unlock a premium character. So I have
considered a premium character? Because I've seen you get cosplay
Mary Jane.
Spider-Man and
yeah, those are the ones, the 5 stars.
Those
are the premium characters, and those are I think that's the max level you can get. Level 60, I'm guessing. So that's neat. I'm gonna be playing more of that. It just sucks when because there's a online aspect of leaderboards, and they monitor your currency that way.
Yeah.
You know that those moments in mobile games where they try to go online and it lags the game.
Oh, because it's trying to it's trying to connect.
Update the leaderboards
Yeah,
or whatnot.
and so it lags at the worst possible times. Like, oh, there's a
And you
thing in
die.
front of me. I'm trying to swipe to the side, and sometimes it inputs, sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes I do it too early and hit something else, and especially when I'm getting a really good long run, because the runs can take a while. Because there's 5 energy whatevers, and each energy takes 10 minutes to reset. Usually,
I think the most
usually when you burn
sorry.
through all the 5, you spend enough time to get another one, so you essentially get 6 throughout. But like a run can take up to 5 minutes if you're really good or really lucky. And for a mobile game, I think that 5 minutes is a long time.
It is a long time.
So it's neat.
It's the most famous one is Temple Run, for sure, right? The Infinite Run.
I think that was the first one that blew up.
Yeah, that was what started it all, really. Was Temple Run.
So I don't know about you guys, but I think the first Temple Run beats the second one by far.
The second one sucks because it has the motion controls.
No, and there's so much bullshit around it.
Yeah.
The first one is just simple, okay, that I like that. Just the basic up, it's running.
Yeah, and the first Temple Run has an arcade game in Time Zone.
That too.
You use a trackball.
Really? There's an arcade game of...
Yeah, there's an
Temple
arcade game of Temple Run in Mega Mall.
I've never seen that. That's pretty interesting.
I've never seen it, but I heard about it.
I think I posted a picture of it somewhere on the internets.
The internet.
It's silly. It's not cheap too. It has that card scanner with the multiple colors. So that's minimum 20 pesos per swipe, I'm guessing. But anyway, Spider-Man Unlimited is pretty rad.
Free.
Yeah, it's free.
Absolutely
it's a
free.
Gameloft game, I think developed by Gameloft France. And
the French did it. Okay.
it might be Ubisoft.
Ubisoft.
But yeah, you should try it. If you like Spider-Man, check it out. Spider-Man is my favorite Marvel hero, so I'm instantly sold. Then the first thing I was told about this was the swinging part, where it's sort of physics based, and you have to. It's not fixed. You gotta get good with the swinging, man.
Yeah, when it comes to Spider-Man, if someone's gonna make a Spider-Man game, you have to get the swing proper.
Right.
It has to be right. I think that's the reason. For example, the Amazing Spider-Man 2. A lot of people were like, "Ooh, I want to play that game because the swinging looks actually good."
The swinging is actually really simple because in Amazing Spider-Man 2, it's mapped to the triggers. The left trigger is your left hand and the right trigger is your right hand.
Yeah.
But it's you hold the button and he swings. And you don't need to alternate, but you can if you want to.
Yeah.
But hey, it's
my
more fun
nephew
that way.
has the game. My nephew has that game on his PS4, and I saw him he's the most weird Spider-Man I've ever seen. He just holds L2 and you see him swinging
With the one arm.
with the one arm.
Because in the first
that's
game,
one way to go around.
Yeah, in the first game, you only had the one swing button.
Well, it kind of works. If you really want to role play the damn game, you can do left, right.
Yeah, if you want to get cool.
Yeah. But anyway, let's go on the news. There's not much going on this week, but there's these big major news that popped up.
It's mostly dumb drama, really.
Yeah, it's just drama. We're gonna dump with you guys drama, and then later on we'll dump in some horror.
Drama of the ancients.
Start with some drama.
What do you want? Which drama do you want to?
Let's start with that Dota 2 stuff. Migs, you wanna break? You were the one who brought this up. You wanna?
I shouldn't be the one because I don't know how Dota works.
Oh wait, who was it?
I just came across the article and found it really funny.
I get it. Anyway, we came across this article and it's getting a lot of traction recently in the social medias, and all the locals, Southeast Asian players are seeing it. Mineski, which is a big team here in the Philippines, and MSI are being accused of fixing their matches in tournaments. Yeah, because there was actually some reports of some screenshots of the Philippine team, Mineski and MSI, talking about their matches with the organizers through I don't know what chat.
I think it was Facebook chat
or Facebook, but these screenshots were posted on Reddit, and then this started happening. The MSI team and the Mineski team, and then they're conversing on how you want to rig this actual match and whatnot. And essentially, it's just like it's like one team is doing the regular fix, while the other one is actually picking the really unusual, really bad ones, which didn't make any sense. Pretty much throwing the game because there are a lot of counters, hard counters, like one here is better than the others, whatnot. So essentially, like doing that will actually give them a really big chance of winning.
They were basically colluding with each other.
Yeah.
To throw the game, basically.
And why they did this? Let me just confirm this. But what do you guys think about rigging, though? Like, I'll just confirm on this.
It's a problem that has been in sports forever. You know, not just esports. We've seen game rigging happen in the Olympics and other major sporting events. So I think it was eventually going to find its way to esports in one way or another. And I'm sure this is probably not the first time this has happened. I recall at some point there were StarCraft scandals going on in Korea for match fixing and stuff. I guess this is news for us because Mineski's a local team, you know?
Yep.
Am I surprised they would do that? I mean, to be honest, not really. Like, it seems like if any team were to do it, it would be a team from a third world country. Seriously. Not to shit on our guys or anything, but yeah, that's what exactly I'm doing. But I'm just not surprised.
Apparently, they were. What happened was like they're throwing off the game to get like keys, like they actually bet for multiple keys. MSI made a statement saying that anyone, because pretty much this blew up thanks to the whole print screens, like during the conversation between these two people. The one member of like Mineski and one member of MSI. But take note though, Mineski as a whole is not really the one affected. It's pretty much the team and like one member of the team, not the actual organization. Because Mineski is actually a big clan. It's not just the whole like. We're not saying Mineski in itself is the one doing this rigging. It's like they have those like bad seeds doing these small riggings, and they have conversations, like they start conversing with these other people just to rig the game. And same with MSI, because they were saying that they made a statement about this issue. They were saying anyone can print screen any conversation of two people talking about our players, but that doesn't necessarily mean it's true. We trust and know our own players. So they made a statement already.
So they're defending
they're defending it because at this point, of course, they'll deny it and they're still questioning how valid these screenshots are. And they're saying that, just like in any person who's saying, that's a scandal photo or it's a scandal video, their instant defense is this is the 21st century. You can do photo edit. Yeah, you can video edit anything. Which is true, you can. But with our history about like rigging and this kind of stupid drama, when I heard about this right off the bat, I'm not surprised. And it feels like it's right.
And
yeah, I don't feel, unless Mineski has some like real powerful enemies who want to discredit them, I don't think that's the case, but I could be wrong. I'm not very familiar with the competitive Dota scene, apart from some very few teams. Is Mineski exclusively Filipino, or is it?
Yeah.
Or
Mineski is our biggest team here in the Philippines. Like if we have Dota 2 tournaments internationally, and like especially the international, Mineski went up there to try to go up for the 20. What's the damn prize pool for that one?
Millions.
19 mil. Yeah, like Mineski is one of those teams that tried to go for that prize, but of course failed to do so. So they're big, but like I said, I'll say it again. It's not Mineski as a whole. It's just one of those. I'm not gonna mention the name. I'll put the link on the description, but they already mentioned some of the names, but it's not just Mineski in itself. There's some people in that team.
Okay, have they taken action already to the accused, or?
There's no statement from Mineski in itself. MSI only did because like I said, it's a conversation between the MSIT members and Mineski together with it's between the two teams, right?
Yep.
Mineski hasn't made a statement. MSI has made a statement so far, and I don't know. It's just funny that these kinds of scams or rigging is still pretty common. And I have read some of the comments, and
do you think, I
the
think
people
it's,
who are not that are not Filipino are all just like it's to be expected by Pinoys. Like that's how bad our
yeah,
reputation
no,
is.
exactly. That's what I meant to say is the reputation of the Philippines is really bad in the international scene. So I'm not surprised at all that that's this sort of thing happened,
Mm.
or that it would happen to a local team. I guess the question is like, do you feel it's easier to rig stuff and get away with it in an e-sport than in, say, like an actual physical sport? Or
Well,
Wouldn't they like notice you throwing your game if you pick a character that you're usually not familiar with, or you're obviously just playing bad?
well, sure, yeah. I
mm,
mean, you have to still put up some level of performance, right? If you wanted
yeah,
to get away with it, but
you kind of have to at least play the part of being like, oh, I'm losing. Stop kicking me.
Even though you're not like, oh, I'm not fighting back at all.
Yeah. Like only port like it's an article in Ghost Gamers, and Ghost Gamers stating that they received a tip from a person close to the teams and players accusing these people, and they say that it's true, but of course we don't know the actual truth yet. Some people will deny it, some people will defend it, but the point being is we're now in a stupid drama again of because they're match fixing stuff. And Dota 2 or Dota in itself is already a very, it's not a bad thing, but it's just a fact. It's a very, what's the word? It's a very, no, because the word I'm saying right now is, I want to say it's kind of bad but messed up community because they're very foul between each other.
Hostile.
And they're
Is that the
or
word?
hostile. Okay, there. Yeah, that's more proper, I guess, because I don't want to say
no,
messed
I
up.
mean, and
Because
gosh, if you see how Filipinos play
there you
Dota
said
here,
messed up.
it's ridiculous. It's
Yeah.
So
like
violent.
disrespectful to the other team.
And then, because with Dota being played as a local game here in the Philippines, like you play LAN, you play 5-on-5, and we've developed this kind of this personality or this community, this very foul language, this very hostile between the other player. There's no actual sportsmanship on this competitive
Yeah,
game.
it's
There's
just
no shaking
trash
hands.
Yeah, dude.
It's complete trash talk. Someone will punch someone eventually.
That's how you know it's a Filipino playing online when the first word that comes out is tanga. It's
Yeah.
In all caps.
in all caps.
All caps. And most likely his tanga was wrong spelling. That is greatly magnified thanks to Dota 2, because Dota 2 is an online game, and you're not only playing with local players anymore.
Yep. It's not just Dota 2. I think it's MOBAs in general.
No, MOBAs, but my point is like Dota was pretty much thanks to it being LAN, and thanks to it's just no one regulating this community. It just brought up this hostile environment, and now we are moving up into League of Legends, Dota 2, which is online, which is pretty much us being introduced to the rest of the world.
Yeah.
We are now like that hostility is now being translated to other players. So now North Koreans or Singaporeans or even US players are like saying, oh, it's another Pinoy, it's very hostile, he's gonna think I'm an idiot again, oh my god, he's not doing the right thing again.
Swearing a language I don't understand.
Yeah.
In chat.
Like in chat, and then like we have that. It's like some Chinese doing some Chinese Chinese symbols we don't understand. Same with some Filipinos. They just assume we're all Filipinos.
Yeah,
We're just
because
talking.
before you'd usually just play against other Filipinos in online games or in net shops, and the aspect of actual online gaming is growing here like just now. So the habits of people like swearing in all caps is because the mindset I'm guessing is like they think that we're playing against each other and not against the world.
Oh, okay. Now I want to clarify in this whole topic too, because I was mentioning some keys before, because they kind of threw the match for keys. Dota 2, Valve has this like inventory system, and you can actually buy keys to unlock these chests to get more
it's like
items.
Team Fortress then.
Just
Yeah.
in-game,
These keys, no, these are in-game items, but these keys are like have a value of maybe a couple of dollars. You know what I mean? Essentially, they've bet with a couple of people saying that Mineski and MSI are up. Who will win? I'll bet Mineski to win. I'll bet like 50 keys for Mineski to win. Blah blah blah, stuff like that. So essentially, oh shit, let's start doing this whole bidding thing. Let's rig the match.
and they'll like
in a
split
way.
the pot or something. I'm guessing.
Something like that, yeah. But that's what I'm saying when the keys. It's keys are technically have money attached to them. They have value. So that's their driving force. That's pretty much their
It's always
their motive.
money.
It's always money. But I was just wondering because I was trying to read up like what the hell are keys? I totally forgot. Then oh shit!
Yeah,
I
I
totally
wanted to
forgot.
make a joke
The whole
about
valve
it
system.
like being hats or something.
Yeah, well,
It might
Some
be.
hats,
Who
right?
knows?
actually, I'm gonna link the article I read, Goes to Gamers, and the news article or the news post from Mineski.net.
There's
they
also
actually have
a hashtag
screenshots.
that people can follow about this.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Okay, go
hashtag
ahead.
322 is real.
What?
Yeah, the number 3 and 22 then is real.
What
So
does the number have to do with it?
I don't understand. But this is the first one I saw about this issue. Like
Oh,
these numbers.
sorry. There's actually Mineski actually made a statement too. Okay, here. I will read the statement. Gaming team management, I guess Mineski, is currently conducting an investigation regarding the validity of the accusations involving two Mineski Dota players in a 322 scandal. Ooh. Yeah, that's where I guess where the 322 came from. P.S. A lot of accusations have been rumored, yet some are already indicated as fake, as the match against MKSP never happened. This is the regional accusation photo. In regards to the other accusations, it will be further investigated. In any case, shall a Mineski player be proven guilty of such involvement, rest assured that it will not be tolerated by management, and proper actions will be made. Mineski Dota squad has been playing purely with full passion and heart since it was founded way back in 2004, and will not sacrifice its reputation with such an unprofessional act that directly violates the core values of the team. Alright, moving on. Enough with the whole Mineski stuff. Let's talk YouTube. A big thing is happening in the YouTube. Well, actually no, it happened. I think this happened last week. It just pretty much happened when Shadow of Mordor came out, and apparently a lot of YouTubers are actually taking money for game coverage, and this kind of blew up. I think this actually got into light when Shadow of Mordor came out and all this game coverages started showing. And essentially, it's pretty much I'm not sure if it's the publishers or the developers. It's most probably the publisher. Is like hiring or giving contracts to YouTubers, like very famous YouTube personalities, to get early review copies of Shadow of Mordor, and essentially, do not say
Putting in
anything
a
bad
good
about
word.
it. In a nutshell, yeah, put in a good word to make it simply. And apparently, this came into light. We saw. They started mentioning all the terms in this contract, and it's pretty.
It's pretty heavy and limiting.
It's pretty heavy, and yeah, like, for one, of course, you give a good word about it. You can't show bugs or glitches. You always have to talk about, in this specific game, you have to talk about like the specific features, like the Nemesis system. You have to always pretty much hype the Nemesis system and whatnot. Essentially, they have guidelines onto how to create your content for Shadow of Mordor. And in the end, you get, free copies and some money for it. And this is actually not news for some. It's just now.
Devs, game publishers and companies do this all the time.
They've been doing this for a while, yeah.
It's probably one of the cases where the contract, quote unquote, is so just limiting and or demanding in terms of what content you can create, because it's like some of it is pretty ridiculous. Like you have to mention the Nemesis system, you have to show off this, you have to show off that. What are the terms? That you have to upload at least one video in a certain time span.
And you have to mention this word or that word at least so many times in your video.
And you also have to do at least one live stream, which
essentially
they will monitor.
They're asking you to follow they have to monitor as well. It's essentially asking you to follow suit in their messaging for this game with how they're marketing it. essentially, from what I'm reading, it's like you're signing this contract to be part of the messaging,
You're
to be part
basically
of the
joining the
campaign.
marketing effort that way.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
there is a
Because you cannot say
there
it's
is a level
bad
of ethics though you got to consider. You know, you have to disclose that. I think if in any case that you are being paid to promote the game, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
I think some YouTubers do that naman.
which is good. It's the ones that don't that are a bit bothersome to me. I don't think there's anything wrong doing that. I mean, but you just have to have full disclosure and say, look,
Well, as long as it's not like you're blatantly lying about your opinion of the game.
yeah, no, that too. But like, what happens if the game really sucks, or you don't, or
No,
Yeah,
well,
exactly.
do you really think it's okay? Do you really think it's okay to be this kind of, 'cause, like, people do this. People will give a good word and not give a crap about like what they're giving their viewers, as long as they get a review copy or
No,
quote
like
unquote
what I'm
money for it.
saying is it's okay if game publishers send you a game and then ask you to voice your opinion about it in like a video or something. But the way
Yeah, of course.
who's handling Shadow of Mordor?
no, and I
WB.
just think
WWE?
you gotta
Warner
be
Bros.
honest with your viewership. You gotta
Yeah.
tell them like, yo, like EA gave me monies to, not in those words, of course, but let them know that like I am promoting this game for EA and I am being
Yes.
paid to do it. But it becomes an issue when you have guys like, say, well, I don't want to call out names, but like, say, Angry Joe, for example, who reviews games for a living. I don't know if he takes money from EA or whoever, but a lot of people trust him to give a fair and unbiased review. So what happens then when you're being basically paid by this company to give a good review of their game, even though you want to be critical about it, which I think every reviewer should
Yeah.
be.
No, because it's well, in a business standpoint, for like this is Warner Bros. And Monolith. When in terms of Shadow of Mordor, if you can actually like make a famous YouTube personality agree to these terms, like, hey, I'll give you this amount, or hey, I'll give you a free review copy if you do these terms, and if he says yes, you instantly have access to
and
let's
that
say
viewership,
500
right?
subscribers. Yeah, 500,000 subscribers, or like that community, and that's instantly a win. And whether that guy will share that or actually do it is another story. But essentially, as you as a publisher or as you as a developer, that is just golden. Now, my next question is, if publishers and developers can go that route, hit those 1 million subscribers, 2 million subscriber personalities like Angry Joe Show, Total Biscuit, and whatnot, and actually make them agree to give these kinds of, assuming that they would agree, like, what is left for the actual journalists that actually try to give unbiased reviews? Like, why would developers and publishers even bother to even give review copies to, like, let's say, Polygon or Eurogamer, when they can tap instantly 1 million subscribers on YouTube and actually give them actually visually
why?
and
Actually, Metacritic, I think. Because Metacritic doesn't take into account YouTube scores. It only takes into account like
Community
actual
scores.
publications. And
Oh, yeah,
I do know the Metacritic
That's
rating
true.
is a very big deal for
the big
a lot
wigs.
of upper management.
Oh, it is. A lot of, like, I think EA and Activision have been transparent with the idea that they consider a AAA game if they are, I think, above 90 in the
Yeah.
Metacritic's rating. Like, that franchise or that title alone is now AAA status because it has now a rating of 90 in Metacritic overall. And so that we have publishers that think that way. Which is actually, you do bring a good point that yes, Metacritic is actually still vital to actual reception. But it's just funny how YouTube is going now, and how there are many YouTube personalities, like even us, for example, or even like how Twitch is blowing up. We're seeing people playing the games, doing their own video reviews. I'm starting to see a shift where, in terms of reception, in terms of like opinions about a specific game, are now shifting into that medium instead of the whole, let's go to the gaming site. We see a very trusted game site, and they say this, and I'll buy that. No, I'll go to my famous YouTube person already, and I'll watch that, and then I'll make a decision if whether I'd want to
No,
buy it or
that's
not.
true. I usually there's very few review sites I go to now. Most of the reviews I get all online are basically YouTube personalities because they'll actually play the game. You'll actually see the game, and you can kind of make your own decision from what these.
Because essentially, like of course, like Kotaku, Eurogamer, all these sites do not like this kind of what's going on with how developers are instantly like bypassing unbiased criticism and going straight to personalities. Obviously they don't like that, but I guess it just has to be a medium word. I guess we just have to have hopefully a more matured list of personalities that would give like unbiased reviews. Like, yes, we would love to review your game, but please, lessen the restrictions that they're like what we mentioned with Warner Brothers. Like, you can't talk about the glitches or the bugs. Are you serious? You want it to be a pristine game.
I understand
in
that
people's eyes.
because they're trying to promote a game, and of course, if you come across a bug, that won't look good for whoever's viewing. But still, I prefer an honest a review
exactly. I
honest
agree.
quick look.
Like, bugs is part of the you need to bring that up. Like, there's. I think that you need to mention the bugs to at least consider yourself somewhat honest of a review.
And it just makes it more. I don't know. I can't. I guess there are people that would do it. I still can't picture that. They would actually agree to this kinds of terms. I'll put the link in the description below to actually see the actual terms that was revealed with this contract.
Just to give you an idea of how restrictive the terms that they gave for the Shadow of Mordor, like review copies that were going out, is you can't even mention Lord of the Rings or The Hobbit in your video or your live stream.
Wait, what? Can you say that again?
You aren't allowed to mention Lord of the Rings or The Hobbit.
Yeah, in your video or your live stream.
Yeah, because they want to strictly separate the Shadow of Mordor from the Lord of the Rings series because they kept on mentioning that. That's pretty much their marketing. That's their messaging.
And another bit that I heard from Jim Sterling's episode of what's his show?
Jimquisition.
They ask in the terms of the Shadow of Mordor, they ask you to play up to a certain point and show off this certain amount of footage of the game. And in YouTube, any gameplay past that, they will flag you with copyright claims.
Oh.
So that's been
foul.
going around. So yeah, that's really
foul.
sucks. That's just the corporate suit doing the talking, man.
Yeah, I know, and sadly, Shadow of Mordor, even if they didn't even do this, they would get good reception regardless. Like it turns out to be everybody just loves it. Everybody's loving Shadow of Mordor. But this is, of course, it's not just Shadow of Mordor. It's just
this is the most recent example of this happening.
Yeah, because the contract for this game specifically was released and it was shown to the world, and there you go. It's not really sad, but I think it's more of a bump where we just have to like fine tune it, because like what we were talking a while ago, YouTube, Twitch, all these extra mediums that can literally show you the game instead of just like reading an impression or getting one person's impression of it. It's just a new medium where it has to be like carved, like polished properly, because these are just, I consider these one of these bad seeds that we just have to weed it out, because I think YouTube, Twitch, they're going to be the more prime source of impressions and like reviews for a game, because I think reading a review on a respected site or a legit site is nothing compared to someone actually playing the game and showing it to you and actually seeing reactions of a game. That's why it's more honest.
One thing you gotta consider also, I just thought of.
Live Let's Play, like in Twitch TV, because Twitch TV is just big now.
Yeah. Well, one thing you gotta consider also that I just thought of is a lot of these YouTube reviewers, that's pretty much their full-time job, right? I mean, they pump out content and then they get paid by YouTube for what they put out. So for them, there's a by agreeing to these terms, it's for them a way to put out more content that is related to what their viewership wants to see. So they have to consider that as well. But is it being honest? That's really the big crux of it. That I think.
I don't think it's, well, I think we have like a couple of those personalities. I'm not going to mention names or anything, but there are some personalities I'm almost positive because a lot of these YouTubers already complaining that what they earn in a yearly basis already in YouTube is going smaller and smaller by the year. You know what I mean? Like from like what they earned from last year is like last year they earned I think 50% profit or whatever. Just put a number of 50%, and now this year they're now down to 37%. They see a decline.
So there's pressure again
in what they usually earn every year. There's pressure, yeah. There's pressure, and like I'm sure that there are some YouTubers that they see the pressure and they see this opportunity and like, why not? It's one game. It's not bad.
Yeah, who knows? They might also just want to play the game early.
Yeah, or that too, or that's the simple notion of I want to play the game.
I'm sure it's good, so why not, right?
And then
take the deal.
Yeah, so why not?
And I actually expected this to come out because of the boom in online video streaming is, it's growing and growing. So I expected like corporations to try to tap into that new market by doing stunts like these. But because it is a different medium and it is a different audience, they should tackle it with different methods instead of the old.
Still mutable.
Yeah, the suit mentality will not work with this type of thing. And sure, some good, like I said before, the not showing the bugs, that's fine, or putting in most of the good words, it's fine. But I just don't like how restrictive the current contract for the Shadow of Mordor one is, to the point like you can't mention Lord of the Rings, or you can't compare it to a Batman game or something. I'm guessing is also part of that. And the bit with the copyright claim for video content past the point in the contract, if you didn't sign up for it, is also a pretty dirty move.
I'll say it again. You're signing that specific contract. It's like you're signing up for the campaign.
You are part of the marketing team.
You're on board with. Yeah, you're on board on how they're gonna message or how they're gonna deliver.
You're voicing their message and not yours.
Whether you like it or not. Yeah, that's what happened. That hopefully it does not. Well, we'll see more of it, but hopefully like the personalities, the Twitch personalities, will not take this as an opportunity to get a free game or money, but as just to like lay off like some of these contracts. Like I'm sure there are some that are nice or that are actually pleasing to actually sign up and then we're good, we'll do this. But when it comes to these that are like hindering you to actually say what you want to say about the game, which is actually your job, your essential like job description, then you have to show restraint, because Shadow of Mordor is good, you're getting it for free, but your credibility is actually way more important
in the long run.
In the long run. And I'm surprised though. I'm actually surprised that Warner Brothers actually is the one who kind of like the news that's blowing up is actually about Warner Brothers. I was actually expecting it from EA or something, to be honest. But this is Warner Bros. And it is they're giving like free keys of like, for example, free keys of the PC version of Shadow of Mordor. I'm not too sure about like the console versions and whatnot, but that
we say all this, but I'm sure if Nintendo came up to me and said, we'll send you a copy of Bayonetta 2 if you give us a good word and say this system and that system, this system in one video, like I'll fucking do it, man. I'll sell my soul to Nintendo, like Bayonetta 2, 10 out of 10.
Really? I'll be the asshole. Like if someone like goes up like, hey, here's Dragon Age Inquisition, give us a good word. Oh, no. Hey. I'm not you. I mean, like I like Dragon Age Inquisition. Like you give me it for free and I give a good word, sure. But I will lie. I will send a contract and I will say bad things if I see bad things.
But Bayonetta 2
and you're gonna hate
have
me.
any bad things. That's the difference. I know. I can feel it in my soul.
You're not valid.
It's good. I can.
Your
I can
soul
absorb
is
10 out
not
of 10
real.
in the sky. I can breathe it.
In the sky.
Your soul is not real. Your soul is. You know, Angry Joe show, like, thankfully you mentioned it a while ago. He told like his viewers that he got an early access to. He was one of those people that were selected to check out the alpha version or the beta version of Elder Scrolls Online. And he was like one of the first people who like showed video of the beta and all that. They had access to it, and then like when it was like when it was barred, you can't show footage. He was one of those persons who can show it. Yeah, embargo. Sorry.
But see, he informed.
He showed the vid. No, he showed the vid. He showed the footage. He explained what's going on, and after that, he showed his impressions, and he bashed the hell out of the game. And what was funny, towards the end of the game, like, you know what, I'm being honest with my review, with my impressions with Elder Scrolls Online. I'm definitely not gonna play it, and this is definitely the last time I think I'll have a conversation between a Bethesda Online rep. But this is part of my job anyway, so,
it should be like that. Like, they can ask you to say good stuff about the game, but if the game sucks, then they have the freedom to shit on it, man. Because if a game is bad, it's bad.
Yeah.
No, but that's the thing. Like,
when it comes to
Angry
Angry Joe,
to
like,
hype a game up. Like, if you're gonna preview a game and talk about, like what you played and how you checked what you checked out, I don't think it's such a big deal then to sort of like stick to those rules. But when it comes to, I'm gonna actually review this game now, that's when you gotta really be full on honest, I think. That's just my thinking.
Yeah. But of course, I'm sure the context also like you have to be not so full honest. You have to be
and some
always
companies
positive.
say just don't say anything bad about it. We'll hunt you down.
Please.
With our half wraith, man.
You will. You really will. But you guys, what do you guys think about this whole YouTube thing where, publishers go straight up to the personalities? Are you actually okay with it? Or do you actually check review, like GameSpot or Eurogamer for your impressions about a specific game, or do you actually go to YouTube or Twitch to check the game out? Like, how do you check out a game nowadays? Because there's a lot now, like lots of mediums on how to do this.
Yeah,
instead of more magazines or just
I was told
internet
that Chris Aquino during one of her talk shows this week, she mentioned about how her kids don't watch television anymore.
Bullshit.
They like her kids just watch Let's Players on YouTube for their entertainment.
My nephew.
And my cousin does that too for Minecraft. It annoys the hell out of me.
Yeah, he knows Five Nights at Freddy's.
And I tend to not watch a lot of TV too, so.
He's 8.
Yeah.
No, I don't watch TV either. Like, YouTube is really a source of entertainment. Even me, I still watch my occasional, TV shows. I watch Walking Dead.
Like,
I watch,
the video on
Arrow.
demand aspect. Once it gets here, which I'm hoping will be soon, it'll make it a lot easier. But since we don't have it yet, we have to usually go download our shows or get it from another source.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah.
So yeah, the more and more that the video on demand thing comes into place, the less and less of actual TV you'll be watching outside of maybe news and sports. So I don't. That's the future.
Yeah. Well, let's go. Let's go off topic for. Well, let's segue to with Let's Plays. You really think it's going to be like a form of entertainment already? Because I watch some Let's Plays. I watch live Let's Plays, but actual Let's Plays on videos, I don't think I watch it as much. Like, I get the first few parts just to get the feel of the game. Because that's my objective.
For one, I think doing Let's Plays is a fun activity. Like, I enjoy making them. And I think, second of all, they're edutainment. Edutainment is maybe not the right word, but...
That's a great word, though, by the way. Good job. I love it.
What I mean to say is, first of all, it's a review / and you see, watching someone play a game. And how many times have you done that in real life? Like, you sat down and watched someone play a game, right? It's fun.
Doing that since...
Yeah, it's just now
you're
stalking
someone. Me and my 5
someone.
neighbors beat Final Fantasy VIII in each of our own PlayStation 1s.
There you go.
Yeah.
What?
Multiple people beating one game multiple times.
that's fucking
That's
online.
couch co-op right
No, that's
there.
multiplayer. That's that's couch co-op. Yeah, that's the word I was looking for. That's couch co-op. You don't Gail. Oh, Gail. Sorry, that's my nephew. He doesn't understand couch co-op whatsoever. Like, What's couch co-op? That's multiplayer.
It's
Yeah,
when
but
you have
imagine
multiplayer
them
online,
sitting
right?
beside you.
Couch co-op.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, but no, multiplayer is online. Multi is actually multiple people. Player there. There's no online in multiplayer.
Oh god, yeah. And then,
That's
and
why
then
they
when
say
you
online
introduce it to
multiplayer.
well, it's more common in sports games, but like, if ever you play like Halo, like co-op or Gears of War, that couch co-op style. Oh god, like I love
Yeah.
that. That for me, that's still the best way to play
No, but
co-op
that's apparently how the kids talk now. Like
online.
when they say
Yeah,
multiplayer, it's simply online. You don't. There's no more because we say online because obviously I distinguish like multiplayer is multiplayer, online
yeah, I
multiplayer of
agree.
course is a different thing or online. But with the kids now, like especially like my nephew who's 8 years old, multiplayer is online. There's no couch co-op. He didn't
Like
even
how he
understand couch
understands
co-op until I
the
actually
word
explained it to him.
multiplayer as a whole is just online.
Yeah, and then every time I play a game with an AI, is that your friend? Yeah, is he online? No. That's a stupid AI following me. Like, it's not, it always assumes
And he
it's
sees
online.
another character running in circles and like, is that guy an AI? No, that's my friend.
No, that's my friend, yeah.
Being stupid
That's my
in the
friend.
corner.
Speaking, following his tail. He's just following his tail. But yeah, Let's Plays, they can be entertaining, but it's a double-edged sword. Like, it can be either, no, double-edged. It's more like a double meaning. It could be
No,
for
it
review
could
purposes
be,
or just for
depending
entertainment.
on,
Like,
I'm guessing who you're watching and following. Because for me, when I watch Let's Plays, it's because of the people behind it, like the personalities behind the Let's Plays. So like the best friends
Yeah,
Zaibatsu, I watch it because they tend to complete their games that they LP. So if the game's interesting and hey, I get to watch them dick around and I get to watch this game I've never heard of,
Yeah,
or
there
this
you go.
really
Right?
bad game that no one else played, like they did the Prison Break game based on the TV show, which is really bad.
oh, and just
Is that a
just
common thing now?
for
Also,
the sake of you
like,
guys know,
people playing bad games,
What?
like that seems to be a thing now. Also, right? Like
yeah,
that's why we played Magus.
that's
Yeah.
that's the reason why go. No, that's not actually the big example on why people bad games are actually good now is because one
Deadly
example is Goat
Premonition.
Simulator.
Yo,
No,
but
well,
Jim
that's
Sterling was
hard,
the only
but
one who gave that
like
game a
this-
10 out of 10.
yeah.
Then it, something like that. Then
Was
it
it a
blew
10
up,
out of 10?
like, from that point.
Yeah, personalities are king.
It's
Wow.
essentially,
Different
you're
impressions.
watching it for
Because-
the people still, like how you watch a talk show maybe. And they just happen to be dicking around in
Yeah.
a video game.
Really bad video game or whatever. right?
Just a little bit of trivia. The biggest, the channel with the most
PewDiePie,
subscribers
Still
is
is.
actually PewDiePie, and he's a left player. Yeah, he's a left player. But my point is, I think one of his videos was him revisiting a game called Skate 3.
Okay.
And he revisited it. And he dicked around with Skate
Skateboard,
3. It's pretty much
actually.
like skate park. Yeah, you can just play around or whatever. He's like doing really funny stuff with skateboards
Yep.
with very weird mechanics. His videos forced EA, not unforced, but more like made EA think it's an opportunity to reprint
Oh, wow.
and resell Skate 3 because of PewDiePie. Because a lot of people were like, I want to dick around like PewDiePie. They reprinted Skate 3 because they phased out Skate 3. It was only available in
that's
digital.
interesting.
They reprinted it. They placed it back on digital software stores and all that, so people can buy Skate 3. So that's how strong personalities are. Especially, of course, that's the number one channel in YouTube with the most subscribers. Obviously, EA would act on it, but that's just a prime example of how personality is more king than a respectable
Yeah.
site nowadays. As much as there is, they still have credibility. They're still pretty strong. But YouTube, Twitch TV, they're a force to be reckoned with. They're going to be, in a couple of years from now, I don't know. It's hard to say. It's hard to see because I think Twitch is like what, not even 5 years yet, and look how big it is already. And for those who don't know, Twitch TV is a live streaming site where anybody can live stream their gaming sessions.
They're owned by Amazon
for
now.
free. You can just, well, they're owned by Amazon now, so we'll see. But you can actually sign up if you have if you have the software, you have the equipment to do it. You can just go up or the internet. You can just go online, show your games, make a community, and there you go. Because each of these personalities have their own communities. They're subscribing to their channels.
And
they're
Twitch has the
giving them
new
money,
like
donate.
the donation system or the subscriber system. where you can pay to directly support
which essentially
the streamer.
And there's a lot. Like to subscribe a channel, to subscribe on a certain personality, you have to
I think
spend
the minimum is
$5
like
a month,
$3,
right?
but I think the user has to set.
Yeah. On average,
You can donate like
it's
$500 if you really want to.
Essentially, if you want to, there's like a PayPal thing. You can open it up,
A lot of
and they
people
donate. There's a lot of people donate. If you see those dashboards of some of the streamers, like it says donate button.
$1,000 a night.
Yeah, Maximilian has rigged it up where when a new subscriber comes in, you hear the ultra combo sound from the new Killer Instinct.
Or if someone, no, but also even when someone donates, it'll show the amount he's donated and everything. And some people donated, dumb amounts. Like I've seen not thousands of dollars, but
Hundreds.
hundreds of dollars. Yeah.
I don't know where the money's coming from, but it's just, there's a lot of
Remember
money
that
flowing
potato
through
salad Kickstarter?
Yeah.
People will spend on anything.
They will. Online is freaking insane, and I don't know, man. And at Twitch, they're donating because they like that person. They like what they're seeing. They're being entertained, technically. Are you not? And like it's $5, and then you can donate as much as you want. There's full-time
YouTubers
streamers
have
already.
frolicked to Twitch because of the YouTube copyright debacle that happened not too long ago.
Yeah, not too long ago. And I think like the $5 subscription, like half goes to the actual Twitch personality, and then the other half goes to Twitch itself.
And you also consider that since if you have the proper equipment and the internet to stream in proper video qualities, that also alleviates the need to video edit and upload videos.
Yes, because I think, well, correct me if I'm wrong, but once you're done streaming, you kind of
now
have a video already.
They removed the save forever mode in archives, but I think it saves your video for 1 week.
Yeah.
Then you can directly upload it to YouTube or download it somewhere.
I'm taking a long time uploading my Alien.
I was trying to upload a video,
Let's Play.
then I canceled it for an hour because I had to stick my new monitor in. I tried to upload it again, it started from scratch.
Yeah.
It hurts so much.
I feel your pain. I've been trying to put in part 2 of my Alien Isolation Let's Play for like I have tried 4 times already so far, nothing. Right. It keeps getting fucked up. And I have like 4 parts already I can upload.
In our case, because our internet upload speed is really low, we don't really have much of a choice. Like in retrospect, I actually wish we started uploading to YouTube back in 2010 instead of trying to go the Twitch route.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we actually also live stream, but internet
in the Philippines
forbids. Yeah, they do not allow us because our internet's horrible. With live streaming, you need a maximum amount of 1 Mbps at least. And thanks to PLDT being the number 1, internet subscriber here in the Philippines, I think we're capped at 0.7.
Nope.
I've never seen 0.8. I think I've seen 0.8, but
mine
I
went
was
to 1
dreaming,
MB once, but that was just because it was bugging out on their end. No, it
was a lie.
It actually was 1 MB, but I called and asked them what's up. They're actually bugging out.
Oh, sorry, we'll bring it down. It's a mistake, we'll bring it down. But there, Let's Plays, YouTube, it's a big thing. But yeah, I think that's it for the news. I think we're gonna cut it here because we want to, let's all start the whole horror month of this episode.
Oh, we got one that we can sort of link into the horror month because, it involves killing innocent little
Fine.
people.
Go ahead.
Okay.
There was a trailer of it that just came out earlier this week.
Go ahead.
It's a game called Hatred.
Hatred.
Children are scared already.
The game of hatred.
So,
what is this game called?
It's a game
Hatred?
where
what are we promoting? Because they paid us
to say
to
good things about this game about murdering people. Yes. So yeah, that's it. You're a dude in a subdivision and you just murder innocent people and maybe call the attention of a few cops on the way. You know what? This game came out a long time ago. I think it was called Grand Theft Auto.
What?
But Grand Theft Auto is not even the only game where you can kill
I heard those were much better too, So, no wait, before we go into how stupid this whole thing is, all the blog sites that are posting about this game are like, oh, it's a game for psychopaths. It's just for people who are sick in the head. Killing innocent people, that's so messed up. Then there's actually gameplay trailers. One gameplay trailer. I watched it, and it's like a isometric view, and it sort of looks like a twin stick shooter, where you control your character with maybe the left stick and possibly aim with the right stick. And yeah, you're shooting people on the street, and you can go up and like there are kill animations, like you stab a guy through the face with a knife, and it zooms in Shadows of Mordor style.
Oh, so they're kind of brutal killings.
Horror month begins.
Yeah, but then outside of that, the game looks actually really dull. For me, at least. Like
that sounds a lot like a game.
Aside from the
You heard of
carnage.
Postal, like that game series?
yeah, where you just shoot civilians and you're delivering post. mail.
No, it wasn't.
that
No,
even
it looks really bland. Postal 1
Postal
and
was
2.
terrible, but it got It got 2 sequels.
Okay.
Don't
And
ask me how.
I think it even got a movie almost made.
It did. No, it did get a movie by
did?
Uwe Boll. Uwe Boll, the guy who makes all the bad video game
Oh,
films.
it did.
That's
I
awesome.
did remember seeing a movie like that. Oh my God.
So I don't know why I think people are sharing the blog post just because of the title and not actually watching or reading the info of the post, which
They're just
upsets me
saying
because
what
I
they want.
hate seeing posts with like the clickbait titles like you wouldn't what happened next shocked me and all that. You wouldn't believe what happened next and all that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I see. I
So I
hate
don't know,
those
like-
titles.
I even had a friend
A game that actually makes you shoot children.
who
Can you
there
shoot
didn't
children
seem to
now?
be any children. So see, they won't even go killing children, so it's not that bad.
It's not that bad.
like
Yeah,
GTA.
it's not that bad. I think GTA you can kill a dog.
Yeah, and
I think
You
it's
rats.
bad
kill
enough.
hookers. You can kill hookers.
kill
No,
your
you can't
dog.
kill your dog. You can't kill Chopper.
No, but there are stray dogs in GTA 5 that you can kill, and they're humping on the
they're
side, you know.
Of course.
So I'm bringing
Yeah.
this up because
Well, anyway,
I saw the multiple posts like the day before. I watched the trailer and it's like, it's a really stupid looking game. Then I just I want to play GTA 5 right
Yeah.
now. And then I had a friend of mine post in one of our private Facebook groups for our friends. Like he shared it and his caption was like, "You kill innocent people here, sick, sick, sick." Then I posted like, "Yeah, that game came out. It's called GTA 5 and it's a whole lot better than this."
I guess no. Whenever something that's similar to GTA 5.
Oh yeah, and just
They're gonna hit it,
for
no matter
context, the developers really made the game like this to take a stab at how the media or the government keep pushing that video games cause violence.
Yeah, yeah.
So that's their stand. That's why
Video
the
game violence.
Lag.
Yeah,
Lag
for sure,
causes
man. Lag
violence.
causes a lot of
That's
violence,
what
even
happened.
in mobile games. Spider-Man.
What's the most gruesome game you've ever seen? Like one of those, Manhunt, Grand Theft Auto. The most not horror in a sense, but
disturbing?
very squirmy. Just like on what you can disturbing. Yeah, that's the word. Like Manhunt, like when I mentioned like last week, that was pretty disturbing. Like my experience with that. Like
the
that's the
plastic
kind
bag
of
is kind of
disturbing
sick
thing
in
I'm
terms
kind
of
of talking
context.
about.
But when I saw it, like I said, when I saw it in the game form, because I only saw screenshots of the Manhunt paper bag kill before, the plastic bag. When I saw it in game, it looked really tame because the angles weren't zoomed in and all that.
Not to mention the graphics haven't really aged.
Yeah, it's jank Rockstar rigging. I don't know. Like in terms of games, I haven't really found anything all that disturbing. Because for me, it's a video game. These people aren't real, so I'm not really affected. What about you?
I agree with you there. I don't
Like,
find
Like you can distance yourself from this because it's not real.
Oh well, my take already on it. Like mine was Manhunt.
No, but for the most
plastic
part, you have no
bag.
problem, right?
I'm paper bags from.
You said paper bag too.
No problem, but I had an experience. No, but I've had an experience, but yeah, I don't really see that big of a problem with it. But the most sick and not the most disturbing, but the most twisted game that you ever played. Have you guys had that?
Game I've played.
I'm sure there's one. But
I'm
I
trying to
probably can't
think.
remember.
I mean, there's been a couple twisted games, Dead Space, or like at least segments where it's twisted, like Dead Space 2 had that segment where with the eyeball. That was kind of weird. I don't know if you remember that part.
Oh, that's the last.
But nothing that stands out. Nothing like, I felt sick playing this game, Never anything to that extreme.
Maybe not sick, but like more in terms of story-wise, like, oh, this is really sad. Like the last one I remember was in Guacamelee, the side-scrolling Metroidvania one with like DMC combat-ish and Mexicans. There's a sort of side quest there where in the first town you go into a house and there you see through the basement floor of like a luchador doll that you can't reach. Then you go talk to the lady upstairs and she said, "Oh, my daughter's doll is in the basement. I can't get rid of it because whatever for reasons." Then once you get the ability to actually go to the dead world dimension, and you can drop down the floor to the luchador doll in that world. You actually see the dead girl in the other world and like, I miss my doll. So you go give her doll and you find out that she's actually dead and she's like a child. And like, that's a really sad side quest.
Oh.
Like, most of the stuff in Majora's Mask.
That's actually a pretty good one.
Majora's Mask has some pretty depressing side quests too.
But that wasn't really
Majora's Mask?
It was just kind of dark.
Yeah, it's just dark, but it's those kind of things that kind of affect me. But in terms of like twisted stuff, like no, not really.
I have one which I thought was kind of bothersome. Well, back when I was a kid, I was like thinking about it. I think my first experience with Psycho Mantis.
Oh, okay.
Metal Gear Solid 1.
When he appears out of nowhere.
Yeah,
Do you guys remember that?
Read your memory card.
No, not that.
basically.
I remember.
No, you meet him before that, right? He sort of like hovers for a while, then disappears.
Yeah, hovers. I remember that scene where you see a corridor of just all those guys with suits.
The one that
and they're all
Ninja
just
killed?
dead.
Gray Fox.
Yeah, and then was it those one?
Yeah, Gray Fox
Was it,
killed
one,
all the
was it
soldiers.
Gray Fox? Yeah, and then you see Psycho Mantis, I think.
Remember the Ego Raptor Flash video of Metal Gear Awesome? Where Psycho Mantis is just like a stick figure and he appears, I'm going to be a boss! He disappears.
That was kind of disturbing.
Yeah, I was told about that scene in Metal Gear Solid 1 with the corridor of dead people, and like two of my friends were like, "Oh, that was so gross, man! Well, like that's really sick for a video game." Because I guess not a lot of video games did do that kind of violence back in the day. When I saw it, I was like,
Yeah,
"Oh, this guy's pretty badass."
that's pretty bad. You're okay. Well, I guess we're
I
different
imagine
people.
like,
We're
what if I
different
took
folk.
out that many guys? Like, I had to have to go through maybe 4 magazines of my FAMAS and take a few hits. Then you see like 5-7 dead guys, and he throws one to the wall. And stealth camo. Oh, ninja.
Oh, I have one. Before we go to the whole like urban legends and whatnot, I have one more. Sorry. Did all of you play Call of Duty?
Oh,
Modern
yeah,
The
Warfare
no
2?
Russian
what you got.
mission, you mean?
The first one.
The no Russian.
Yes. The mission where you can actually
They
skip.
removed that in
because
the
it's that
Russian version
disturbing.
of the game.
Yeah, they did. I know.
Because damn it, yeah. Because essentially that certain mission is you're undercover and then you essentially go on an airport and you start shooting civilians.
Actually,
Plain
I
simple.
can think
That's
of a game
what it
that,
is.
that sort of not a specific game, but I don't like games where they just try to be violent for violence sake. Like, okay, Mortal
out of
Kombat
context?
is Mortal Kombat is violent, but it has context for it, right?
And
Like, for me,
it's
I
more
just-
almost like
like-
cartoony violence.
Yeah, exactly. But for me, like, games like, I guess back in the day, do you remember there were like a ton of games that were trying to emulate Mortal Kombat at some point?
Oh yeah. Like
Do you remember
Weapon
that?
Lord.
And then they were just going over the top with all kinds of gory shit you can do. Like some of them really kind of bothered me. Like they were trying to get all cannibals and shit. That kind of bugged me a little bit.
Oh, there's actually one
Oh,
coming
that,
out
that
already.
weird fighting game, the Italian
Heavy
one.
Rain.
You mean?
An
I think
Italian
Mickey might have heard of it.
fighting
Which one?
It's like, yeah, it was shit. What is it called?
game? Do you attack each other with spaghettis and pizzas?
No. It's because there's a whole thing about this game where they say the demo's out and then no one can download it and like.
Is that the game where it looks like the old Mortal Kombat games?
Yeah.
Where they use like people as sprites?
Yep, that one. You know what I'm talking about?
And they only had like one character available at the time.
Yeah, that game is really gory though. Like that's the gore I can't. That I find a bit off because they're using real actors in that case. At least in the older Mortal Kombat, it was all digitized still.
Yeah, and old Mortal Kombat, you had like anthropomorphic femur bones everywhere, or I mean, like nondescript chunks of meat.
Yeah, here it's. I'll try to find the details of this game because I want to talk about it more next episode. But I think we should move on to what
main
more
scariness.
stories. Have you guys? Well, you.
I just want to say one more, pretty quick. Phantasmagoria.
Oh yeah, Phantasmagoria is sick,
Sorry.
dude.
No, just the guillotine thing, because I played that game and I kept on fucking up the part where you have to have the girl escape the guillotine part before the axe hits her head. I keep on messing that up. I just kept on seeing it over and over, like her head just keeps.
Well, that's
hitting
different
the
because they use like cutscenes that involve actors.
I know, but it was very disturbing because I was messing up and I was getting worse and worse because I was scared of seeing it again.
As a horror game, though, so kind of like I don't know, like it's in context for me. That is.
But Phantasmagoria gets really weird. Like I remember a scene where a guy shoves soil down a woman's throat with that.
With a trowel.
Thing.
Yeah.
That was weird, but that was kind of disturbing then.
If you don't know the context of it, yes, I can imagine it being disturbing. But I remember that scene because that was kind of shocking for me too.
And that was like one of the earlier scenes as well, the garden part. And you just stand there for the whole thing.
Yep. You stand there like, oh, okay, that's happening. Let it continue. Yeah. But anyway, yeah, I just wanted to throw that out because when I mentioned disturbing, like I was just thinking about the other games that I've played in the past, and they're coming out. Damn it, coming out. All right, stories, legends.
There's one we haven't talked about, but like I think it's a really good kind of creepy game story. And you mentioned the game in question earlier as well. This is about the haunted Majora's Mask cart. Have you heard of this?
Oh, yes. It's actually one of the most famous urban legends.
Known as Ben Drowned.
The Ben Drowned story, yeah. So the story goes basically, some guy bought a used copy of Majora's Mask. Like, the game was basically a gray cart. The label was ripped off, and then someone just wrote
written
Majora.
in crayon or something.
Yeah. And then when he popped it in, there was already a saved game there with a name Ben. In Zelda games, you can rename Link to whatever you want, so... what happened was he tried to start a new game, but the game would keep glitching, quote unquote, and the Ben game would sort of leak into his, and it would cause all these weird glitches where the face of Link would change and things like that. And the story goes that essentially the cart was was haunted by this kid, Ben, who apparently had drowned at some point.
Yeah, because from what I understand, like he was playing through the game, and I think at some point like he was kind of curious about the save file, and because when he was playing it, he was just kind of like, I will, in respect of the previous owner, I won't touch his old save file. He went to the old save file. He noticed like, okay, cool. He's there. He finished this many temples. He has got all his equipment. Cool. And then he left, right? And then after he boots the game again in Majora's Mask, he noticed that his save file was gone, and the only thing he had left, I think, was his name. It was his name, and he noticed that it was somewhat not where he was in his previous save file, and then also in the Ben save file was also gone. No, the Ben save was still there.
Multiple times where he booted the game and then the save would appear and disappear. And he would be loaded in different areas, and ultimately he was being followed by a weird statue of what was wearing Link's garb, but he had a messed up face.
Yeah. I remember that part of it.
It's a long story.
It was a statue, like it essentially like when he continued on with the game, he started, like what Will was saying, he was seeing these weird glitches, and I think every time he like rotates the camera going behind Link's back, the statue is right there, it just appears, and it was kind of freaky. He was kind of getting freaked out about it, but he kept on going, and then when he booted the game again, he was playing it regularly, and I think someone has to correct me if I'm telling the story correctly though, but he all of a sudden was teleported into this arena. I think he was teleported into this arena, and he was met with this one of these NPCs that was laughing manic. It was really just laughing every now and then. And the only thing, you can't do anything. You're just there, and every now and then you see Link just go on fire. You see Link on fire and just dies, right? And then when he die, you're in shock. The guy was dead. Link reappears, respawns, and you're in the same area. And that little NPC that's floating is just laughing and laughing. And as you of course, like as instinct, you try to get out of that area, but no doors work, nothing. You can't do anything. And after a few seconds, Link's dead again. Like, I think for a good maybe 10 minutes, the player was just seeing Link die over and over again, just in flames over and over. And he just, out of being scared of what's going on, because it's obviously not normal for the game, because he's already played the game, he turned off the console and he left it for a while again. I think a couple of days after, he decided to continue the game because he was kind of curious that maybe all those bugs and glitches are now finally gone and he can now continue to play this game. But when he turned on, I think that's when he noticed that the save file, there's only one save file left. It's not anymore Ben, but it's now actually the player's name, and he was actually freaked out already. And then when out of just being curious and seeing what's going on, he goes into his game. He sees that he's kind of ahead in where he was before in his save file. At that play session, he noticed that some of the text of some of those NPCs that he interacts with are very jumbled up. Like, there's another glitch and stuff like that. So he decided to turn it off again. And then, he kind of got fed up with the whole thing and decided to I won't play it for the day. The next day, he decided to play it again. His save file is not anymore his name, but it's now Ben again. And he goes, out of curiosity, he goes again. He goes to that save file, and what was that again? He becomes, it's Majora's Mask. He becomes that
Aqua Temple, the Aqua
thing,
yeah.
The Zora one, yeah. He loads the game and he becomes that Zora one. He's wearing the Zora mask, and he's like close to a beach, and there's no sound in that game. It's like it's very unusual that he was loaded in that game. So he just, out of curiosity, the player just decided to, since I can't go anywhere else, I just might as well swim to the ocean. He swims to the ocean. And he actually, for some reason, was met with that statue. That's that weird, disfigured statue of Link, again, underwater. And he tries to run away with it. That statue despawns and it shows up right in front of him again. And when that happened, all of a sudden Link, burns up again and dies. Underwater, he burns up again and dies. And then he supposedly heard that maniac laugh that he encountered when he was in that arena when Link was constantly dying. So that happened, and then so he got freaked out. He turned it off again, and then he didn't know what was going on. He was kind of freaked. The guy was kind of his first time actually experiencing this kind of game where glitches kind of feel like it feels like it's haunted. The cartridge feels like it's haunted. I don't know. I forgot. I'm missing small parts of the story.
The whole thing is actually you can find it by just googling the story. What makes this even creepier is that the guy actually has footage of what happened.
No, it was actually famous. It's not actual footage.
There was
a
mod
famous
made for
to the point that mod made to actually recreate the how it was
another well-known thing about the Majora's Mask Ben Drowned one is the song. It plays a inverted version of the Song of Healing, which is how you go back in time.
Oh, and I think when you do that to go back in time, when you rarely do that, you hear the inverted song of that tune. But when you do it in the story, you'll just see Link burn up again and die. So essentially, he couldn't progress in the game because he needed to do that. But if he does it, he will die. Like, he didn't know what to do. Like, those were one of the encounters that I remember in the story that he mentioned that, it's freaky. Like, whenever I do, I just kill Link over and over. And yeah, what Will was mentioning, there's a video that actually it was so famous. It was actually a lot of people were following this urban legend about like this haunted Majora's Mask to the point that they actually made a mod to actually replicate the actual story and what was going on. And I think my first experience of Majora's this story was actually that YouTube video. I think I'll link it in the description below so it can actually be more accurate.
It's a really long story.
It's a very
really
long story.
And it's creepy
really long
as heck.
story.
I mean,
yeah, I'm sorry that I'm getting by giving you guys the bits of it because I don't want to be that inaccurate with it. That's pretty much the gist of what happened, and it's pretty much telling the story of the previous owner named Ben drowning, and it's being the cartridge being haunted.
I'm guessing this is the first issue of a haunted cartridge story that circled around because this is one of the earlier ones that I came across.
Yeah, this is one of the first ones. I've read another one about a Godzilla cart for the NES. No, it's much creepier than you think. I'll try to find the story for next week because it is quite. It's also pretty creepy.
Godzilla goes into his room as he's sleeping.
Well, you joke about it now, but I'm sure by next week when I tell this story.
You joke about it now, but
he's a good guy in some movies.
No, he's not. No, he's not. But that's I don't want to say more about the Majora's Mask story because I don't want to butcher it that much. Like, I'm sure I'm not that accurate. I'll show the description below. But it's actually pretty freaky once you with the video format
look
of
up
it.
The statue of Ben Drown. That's creepy, man. That face.
And it's always behind you. It's because and how they modded it was actually perfect.
It's just the right amount of jaggy.
What else do you guys have? I mean, what else do you guys want to share?
Well, there's another Pokemon story of a black Pokemon cart. It's not
more haunted cart.
It's like supposedly a third-party mod
It's a hack cartridge.
A hack cartridge where basically your Pokemon, instead of fainting, would outright die, and more than that, apparently there was a specific there's that ghost type Pokemon,
The Pokemon
like Gengar,
Tower.
I think.
No, it's the ghost image before you get the Sylph Scope.
Yeah, there's actually no Pokemon. There's actually just a ghost image. This is more like a mask. If you're going to the tower, but
if you encountered that Pokemon, it would kill your Pokemon,
and then you couldn't pull them out of your roster.
Yeah, basically your Pokeball would remain empty. Like, you'd fight the thing, then before your Pokemon would faint, quote, the screen would go to black, and then you'd hear a sound bite of the Pokemon like crying out, and then it'd go fade back, and then your Pokeball would be empty, basically, so implying that your Pokemon had actually died.
And then all your Pokemon keep dying, and I think I remember the story that the person who was trying to go through it, like his Pokemon kept on dying and dying, and eventually I think the end of it, like, you actually then will see, like, the game kind of like cuts and it becomes like you become like an old man, and essentially you can see yourself actually fighting the spirit now.
You.
Like, since there's no other Pokemon, and it kills you because now you see like the character like Red or the Pokemon trailer, like all old, and tries to fight the ghost who's been killing all his Pokemon. He tries to do it himself, but no, he dies eventually anyway.
Then the game deletes its save game or something after. I think that's how it ends. Well, I got one that's not a haunted cartridge, and it's actually real in-game assets. It's another Nintendo property. You guys know Mario Galaxy 2?
Yeah, we do. I do.
Yeah, of course.
There's a planet. I'm guessing. I don't know the official name of the planet. But it's you're in a volcano, more or less. and you're in like the walls of the stage are like high cliffs. So I'm guessing you're in the mouth of the volcano, and you're doing whatever Mario does, jumping around, shooting fireballs.
Big Mario.
And yeah, and somebody looked around the environment and noticed that on, I think it was the left side of the cliff, he would see what looked to be a silhouette of two people, more or less. And
I've seen this as well. Yeah.
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 And they looked like they had arms and what looked to be eyes as well.
They kind of look like
they
kind of look like gray aliens. You know how the typical alien.
Yeah, like they have no neck. It's like a big head, arms, and a body stuck together. And he tried to get closer to it, but he couldn't because it's an actual 2D image in the game. And when he found out about that and he looked into the game itself, the assets were actually named Hell Valley, the sky trees in Hell Valley. And Hell Valley was the old name of that volcano stage before it was changed to Shiverburn. So yeah, the actual in-game assets is called Hell Valley, and those two parang nondescript people are called the Sky Trees, and they don't appear anywhere else. So as for the reason why these art assets are there, and you know the name itself being Hell Valley initially in a Nintendo game.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
Nintendo would not.
And like this isn't made up rumor or anything. It's actually been proven that these are the assets in the game, and it was called Hell Valley originally.
Yeah, and as Miyamoto has not made any comments to that regard.
Nobody from Nintendo has commented about this either.
Yeah,
he's gonna invent this.
It comes out as true. But it's just a stage.
It's just an art asset in stage. It doesn't like affect you in any way. It's just there. But I bet if you came across this for the first time, you would also wonder, what the hell is that? And you look close, it was like people.
Yeah. Actually, I would also be in like the same position because like you said, it's a Nintendo game. What's this doing here?
Yeah, which I noticed another. It's not really creepy, like as creepy as I would make it out to be, but. You know the item assist trophies in Smash Brothers? I made a post about this on the site too. The item assist trophy where you pick it up and it summons another character from a different game to fight alongside you.
Yeah.
In Brawl, it looked like the trophy base of the Smash Brothers game with like a male buff action figure doing like a dynamic anime stance inside, and he's encased by a glass showcase. Diba? In the new Smash Brothers game, because I watched the trailers again, I noticed that they redesigned the assist trophies, and instead of it having like an action figure inside, it's sort of like you know how the characters in Limbo look like? Little silhouette of a child with the white eyes.
Yeah.
It's that inside the assist trophy, and it has like phasing, different colored energy around it. And I don't know.
You think it's
No, it's really the design.
Glitch, or?
Like it looks like the kid of Limbo is inside the assist trophy. And you know, with a game like Smash Brothers that is so colorful, it's full of these quirky characters. It's a weird art design change. At least I think so. And you know what? This game did come out in October. Maybe that's the sign.
Maybe that's their hats off to the.
Or maybe it's Sakurai being butthurt about all the changes he had to make for his game.
No, I see it too. It's not that creepy.
No, it just reminds me of the kid from Limbo. And if you think about it in the context of Smash Brothers, it's a bit weird to have an item that looks like this.
I guess that's true. Yeah. But there, I think we'll stop here. I think I wanted to share one more, but I think I'll save it for next week because I've been like itching the whole Final Fantasy talk. The Final Fantasy
got no face.
Legend, but I'll do that next week because that was actually my first pick ever since the first time we did this. But I've been like, I'll just talk about this instead. But we'll stop here for now. Thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for listening.
Ears.
Yes, this is episode 54. We'll be doing this horror month. I think one more week. One more episode. If you want to check out our previous episodes, do check us out at www.toomuchgaming.com. That's 2 with number 2. All of our previous episodes are there. We have it all archived if you want to check it out. Or you can subscribe on iTunes. Just check out Too Much Gaming. We're there. Go and subscribe because we have an episode every Tuesday, so stay updated. Like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, and do check out our YouTube channel, TMG Blog. Me, Miggy, and Will throw a lot of video content there, especially Miggy, that has something up in November.
The horror games are actually going live now, starting today.
Yeah.
That'll be fun,
yeah. You just released it, what?
The first part of 7 Days is live now, but by the time you hear this, both parts will be out, and then some.
Yeah, I already released the first part of my Alien Isolation.
And Will has a LP of Dread Out that will go live in the last week of October.
There you go.
Yeah. I have actually part 2 uploaded. If it just
you have to do it again
for the 5th time.
It already says failed on YouTube.
Oh God.
I have to re-upload mine as well.
You see it now? No, I see it now. Yes, it failed. Fuck. But yes, we're doing those LPs just to celebrate Horror Month. I'm also playing still Evil Within, of course, Alien Isolation. I'm not even done with that yet. But yeah, thanks for listening in. We will see you guys next week. And yeah, see you guys.
Spooky scary.